Khadar is new alluvial soil and Bhangar is old alluvial soil. This is what we have done in the last part, children. Today we will continue with the next part, that is, before that I'll show you the position of the northern plains on basis of relief. Children, you can see the position of these. We have done Himalayas, and the lowest range, that is the southernmost range of Himalayas, is your Shivaliks. Below Shivaliks it is a Bhabar, which is the narrow belt of 8 to 16 kilometers, where we have done that there are big pebbles under which the rivers disappear. But in Terai region we have seen that the rivers reappear, and it is also once upon a time a thickly forested area, but it was cleared for the settlements. Then we can see that below that we have the two types of the alluvial soil, Bhangar, which is the old alluvial soil which is not very fertile, and Khadar, which is a new alluvial soil which is very fertile. So now we just quickly move on to the next part of the chapter, that is the peninsular plateau. Now, in the beginning of this video, we have done that peninsular plateau is the oldest landmass of our country. Now, what is first of all a plateau? Plateau is a tableland. It is called as a tableland. You might have seen a table. It will be little upward, and on the top it will be generally flat. So that is a tableland, children. So the plateau is a tableland which is composed of the old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. Now, what do you mean by the term crystalline? It means having the structure and form of a crystal. So, again I am repeating, it is having the structure and form of a crystal. So, it is a solid form of igneous and metamorphic rocks. And it is of volcanic origin. We all know, children, how igneous rocks are formed. When the volcanoes erupt, the lava flows, and when it solidifies, that forms into a rock which is called as igneous rock. This area, that is the peninsular plateau region, it is a source of mineral wealth. A lots of minerals are present in this region. It is formed due to the breaking and drifting of the Gondwana land. How is plateau formed? Peninsular plateau. Plateau is formed from breaking and drifting of Gondwana land. Now, what is Gondwana land? Gondwana land is a supercontinent of the southern hemisphere which comprises the landmass that currently correspond to India, Australia, Antarctica and South America. That is, today all these countries, that is India, Australia, Antarctica and South America, these all, out of these it is India which is in the northern part. Rest of the part are there in the southern hemisphere. Now, why is India in the northern part? We have done that due to the drifting of Indo-Australian plate towards the north, towards the Eurasian plate. So that is why India is presently in the northern part, and rest of the Gondwana land, the parts of the Gondwana land are in the southern part. So this plateau region is a part of this Gondwana land. So that is how it is formed. Then plateau has broad and shallow valleys and rounded hills. If we compare a mountain with a plateau, in the mountains you will see that there are pointed hills. But in a plateau, there are broad, shallow valleys. Shallow means which is not very deep. There will be valleys in the plateau also, but they are not deep like when you go to the Himalayas, if you will see the valleys there, they are very deep. But these plateau region, the valleys are shallow, which are not very deep, and they have the rounded hills. So they do not have any pointed peaks. They will have the rounded hills. And this area is largely surrounded, or it consists of black soil. That is because it is formed from the volcanic eruptions. When the soil breaks, it forms into a soil. It is formed from a rock basically, which is called as a basalt rock. So when that basalt rock breaks, black soil is formed. So that is why this area is consisting of the black soil. And it is also called as the Deccan Trap. That is, in the whole of the Deccan region, the black soil is present. So it is called as the Deccan Trap. It is most suitable for cultivating cotton crop. So that is why black soil is also called as cotton soil. It is also called as cotton soil. And there are number of industries, especially in the Chota Nagpur Plateau area. Children, here there is a map you can see in this same slide, where you have been shown, that is the Deccan Plateau over here. I'll show you. You can see the Deccan Trap over here, or the Deccan Plateau over here, and in between you can see one brown line, that is your, what do you call it, as river Narmada. So we are going to do this also, that is above Narmada we have the plateau region, which is called as Central Highlands. Below river Narmada we have a plateau region which is called as Deccan Plateau. The plateau region even extends towards the northeastern states, especially in Meghalaya. Meghalaya, where we have the Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills. These are the part of the plateau region. These are the part of the plateau region, children. So we can see these two. In your book also you have the map which you can see. Again I am repeating, there is river Narmada which is flowing from east to west. Above river Narmada we have the Central Highlands. Below river Narmada we have the Deccan Plateau, and this plateau also extends towards the eastern part in Meghalaya, where we have Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills. So we proceed to the next slide, which is the division between the Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. That is, our peninsular plateau is divided into two plateau regions, that is Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. Children, also you must know that why our plateau is called a peninsular plateau. What do you mean by the term peninsular? Peninsular is an area or a region which is surrounded by water on three sides. If you see the map of India, you will see that from three sides, southern part of India is covered with water from three sides. We have Indian Ocean towards the extreme south, and the branches of Indian Ocean, that is Bay of Bengal, towards the southeast part of India, and Arabian Sea to the southwest part of India. So that is how our plateau is covered with water on its three sides. So let's continue with the next continuation part, Central Highlands, which I told you, towards the north of river Narmada we have Central Highlands. They are also part of a plateau. So the location I have given, north of the river Narmada. What is it made up of? It is made up of igneous and metamorphic rocks, and it is bordered by Aravalli Range to the northwest. If you see in your map of India in your book, you will see that towards the northwest you will see a range, that is in which is stretching from Gujarat to the Delhi, Gujarat to Delhi, that is passing from Rajasthan, you have a range which is called as Aravalli range. So the central highlands are bordered towards the west by the Aravalli range, and towards the east of the central highlands we have a very famous plateau which is called as Chota Nagpur plateau, which is towards the West Bengal. I'm telling you the position from this map, which is not in the slide, but you can see in your book also. It is there, that is Chota Nagpur plateau towards the east near the West Bengal. And then towards the west we have the Malwa plateau. So towards northwest we have Aravalli range. Towards the west we have Malwa plateau. And towards the east of central highland we have the Chota Nagpur plateau. And this central highland has lots of rivers. Children, these rivers are also the tributaries of river Ganga. These rivers, Son, Betwa, Chambal, Sindh, they flow from southwest to northeast. When they are flowing from southwest to northeast, when they move towards northeast, they join river Ganga. So these rivers are called as the tributaries of river Ganga. So they are flowing from southwest to northeast. Now coming to this, wider these highlands, central highlands are wide in the west and they are narrow in the east. Towards the westward extension of these central highlands, they merge with desert of Rajasthan. They are sandy and rocky. That is towards the western part of the central highlands. As we move further towards the west, generally the part extends towards the deserts of Rajasthan. So this central highland in the western part is much sandy and rocky. Towards the extreme east of the central highlands, that is towards the when we talk about extreme towards West Bengal, we see that these eastern extensions, they are called as Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand also. They are known by different local names, children. Towards the eastern extension of the central highland, they are called by Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand also. So again I am repeating, central highlands are towards the northern part of the river Narmada. They are also, we call them as the Vindhya range. You can see in your map, that is we have the even the Vindhya range. So above the Vindhya range we have the central highlands. Towards the extreme northwest we have the Aravalli range. Towards the east we have Chota Nagpur plateau. Towards the west of these highlands we have the Malwa plateau, and they are drained by the tributaries of river Ganga, that is Son, Betwa, Chambal and Sindh rivers. The eastward extension of these plateaux, also called as Bundelkhand and the Baghelkhand plateaus. We come to the next one, that is a part of the peninsular plateau which is called as Deccan Plateau. It is a triangular landmass. If you see in the map of India, the shape of this plateau is a triangular shape, if you will see. So it is a triangular landmass that lies to the south of river Narmada, below the river Narmada. Now, it is having Satpura range in the north. If you see just above this Deccan plateau towards the west, you will see a range which is called as Satpura range. And it is also having Mahadev, Kaimur Hills and Michael range in its eastern extension. Towards the east of Deccan plateau, you will see these three ranges also. Deccan Plateau is higher in the west and it gently slopes towards the east. This plateau is also visible in the northeast. A small part of Deccan Plateau is extending towards the northeastern states also in Meghalaya, where it is called as, this plateau is called as Karbi Anglong Plateau and North Kachar Hills. In Meghalaya, again I am repeating, these plateau, that is the Deccan Plateau, is called as Karbi Anglong Plateau and North Kachar Hills. This is separated by a fault from the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Chota Nagpur Plateau is a part of Central Highland. Meghalaya Plateau is part of the Deccan Plateau. This Meghalaya, in Meghalaya, we have three small hills which are also part of Deccan Plateau. They are called as Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills. Three small hills are there which are differently named, Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills. And this Deccan Plateau is having, if you see towards the extreme west and the extreme east of Deccan Plateau, is marked by the Ghats, that is Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. They mark the extreme edges of the Deccan Plateau, which are called as the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. The difference between the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats, children, I'll do at the end of the chapter by giving a proper differences between those two, Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. So that completes your plateau region, which consists of the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. We come to the next slide, or the next division, physiographic division of India, that is Indian desert. Now, Indian desert, children, all of us know it is also called as Thar Desert. Where is it located? I told you Aravalli Hills, which are stretching from Gujarat to Delhi. You will see on the west side. Generally, children mistake that they say that whole of Rajasthan is a desert area. No, the whole of Rajasthan is not a desert area. Only the western part of the Aravalli Hills is a desert area, that is western part of Gujarat, western part of the Rajasthan, that is only a desert area because that part does not receive rainfall. Now, why it does not receive rainfall, we'll do in the chapter 4, climate chapter. That I will tell you there, that why this part doesn't receive the rainfall. So, because it doesn't receive the rainfall, it is a desert area. It has uneven sandy plains. A lot of sand, it is covered with the sand. These plains are also covered with small mounds of sand called as sand dunes. You know, when the wind blows in this region, that whole sand, they get collected into the shapes, different shapes. You can say that they pile up, the sand gets piled up. That pile up of the sand is called as the sand dunes. This area forms lots of sand dunes which are called by different names. For example, crescent shaped sand dunes are called as barchans, which cover a large part of the desert. You know what is a crescent shape, children? It is, generally we use this term for crescent shaped moon. For example, a semicircle shape. So that is a crescent shape. So that crescent shaped dunes, when the dune formed in that form of crescent shape, It is called as Barchan. Generally, these Barchans are very famous in the region of Jaisalmer. Jaisalmer, which is a part of the Rajasthan. There we see large amount of these Barchans. And this region has arid climate. Arid means dry. It has dry climate with scarce vegetation. Very less vegetation. Generally, we see only the dry kind of vegetation like cactus is grown over here, because it has rainfall below 150 millimeter per year. Very less rainfall. Here, rivers appear only during the rains. When little bit of the rain is there, at that time only small rivers appear over there and disappear into the sand, as they do not have enough water to reach the sea. Here we can see only one river, that is River Luni. Only one a little bigger river than the other small rivers. So that river is called as Luni River. You can see, children, a picture is shown over here, which is, you can see the picture of Indian desert. You can even see the location of Indian desert, which is not complete Rajasthan, but towards the west of the Aravalli hills. You can see the shape of Barchans also, children, here. You can see the shape of Barchans also. That is the crescent. You can see that a semicircle kind of a shape. That is the shape of the Barchans. So, and we have lot of longitudinal dunes which are also seen even in the Indo-Pakistan border, because as we go towards the extreme west of Rajasthan, our country is bordered with Pakistan. So we can see a lot of longitudinal dunes even towards this Pakistan border also. This desert has lot of undulating sandy plain. Now, what do you mean by undulating? Means uneven. If you go to a desert region, you will see that sandy plains are there, but it is not actually a complete plain area. You will see lots of ups and downs. So that is called as undulating or uneven sandy plains. So just we'll quickly recap in this video, children, because we have completed Deccan Plateau also, we have completed Indian desert also, and in the next video I'll cover your coastal plains as well as your islands, and then your difference between the Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats, and then finally I'll do the summary of the chapter. So I'll just recap of what we did today quickly. We have done about the what is the peninsular meaning of the peninsular plateau, and we have done that it is called as a tableland. It is formed of volcanic origin. It is formed of crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. Plateaus are known for storehouse of minerals. It was a part of the Gondwana land, but when the Gondwana land broke, this plateau region formed, and it has shallow valleys which are not very deep. It has rounded hills on the top. They are not pointed at all. The hills are on the top. It will be a semicircle or a rounded hill over there. It is formed from when these volcanoes erupt. A rock is formed which is called as a basalt rock. When that basalt rock breaks, a soil is formed which is called as black soil. So that is why this region has a large amount of the black soil. It is also called as the Deccan Trap. It is also largely grown crop is the cotton crop. So it is also called as the cotton soil. And we see lots of industries in the Chota Nagpur Plateau region. This plateau has two divisions, Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. Central Highlands are located towards the north of river Narmada, and it is formed of igneous and metamorphic rocks. We have Aravalli range towards the northwest, and towards the extreme east we have the Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand, and also Chota Nagpur plateau. Towards the west we have the Malwa plateau region. This region has a lot of tributaries, that is tributaries of river Ganga, Son, Betua, Chambal and Sindh. Then we have Deccan Plateau, which is a triangular landmass which lies towards the south of river Narmada, and towards the north of Deccan Plateau we have the Satpura range, which also has Mahadev, Kaimur and Michael range in the eastern part of this Deccan Plateau. This Deccan Plateau extends towards the northeast, that is in Meghalaya. Children, you can see Meghalaya, which is just above the Bangladesh. So that Meghalaya, we have the Karbi Anglong Plateau and North Kachar Hills, which are part of the Deccan Plateau. In Meghalaya, we have the hills, we call them as the Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills. And here, this Deccan Plateau, towards the extreme southeast and southwest, we have the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. The difference between them we'll do in the next part of the video. Then we have done about the Indian deserts, which is the one more physiographic division of India. Towards the Aravalli hills, we have the Indian deserts, which covers the western part of Gujarat, western part of Rajasthan also, and it has a lot of undulating or uneven sandy plains. It consists of lots of sand dunes also, which are called as the barchans when they are in the crescent shape. They are also having the longitudinal dunes which can be seen in the Indo-Pakistan border. It has a dry climate which is called as arid climate. So we have a very less vegetation cover over here because it receives very less amount of rainfall. We have small rivers appear only when there is a little amount of rainfall, and one of the only one little big river is there, which is called as the river Luni. Then at the end you can see the pictures, that is the Indian desert, Barchans and the map where we have shown you the Indian deserts. So children, after seeing this whole video, you can watch it and you can go through the points discussed. I'll be giving you even the questions also separately in a PDF form. Have a good day, students.